Hello, 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 hello. Welcome everybody. This is Mrityunjay Thakur, and this is the fourth lecture of the complete Python program course. This is complete free course that we have started on the YouTube. So we are discussing in this video lecture in this series we are discussing about Python programming. We have learned a lot of things about Python programming. We started with what is programming, how what why is programming important, how can we learn programming, why do we need to learn programming, and who can since this is the fourth lecture, I would again like to repeat this that there is no requirement of prior knowledge for you. If you want to learn Python programming, you can watch this video lecture series, but please start the video lecture start watching it from the first lecture. Okay, you cannot just jump into and suppose if you are watching this video lecture for some specific topic, then you can definitely watch it. There's no problem. This will help you in revision as well. So I hope before moving on to this lecture, I would like to ask you something that I hope most of you have solved some of the questions related to the last class, because in last class we discussed operators. Operators are very important for us because it will be used again and again in this course. Okay, so I want you to have a proper knowledge of operators and operators precedence as well. So because we need to know what is the priority order of the operators if we use them if we use multiple operators in a single line of code. Okay, so it is very important for us to learn about that. Then so and also we need a lot of practice, because the more you practice, the more you comfortable will get in this programming language, because programming requires practice. So if we practice it a lot, we will be getting more and more comfortable. Now before moving on to this lecture, I would like you to uh, solve all the homework questions that I have already that I give you in this series, and solve the questions in between the that we discuss in this in these lectures as well, because these are very important things for us. Because only syntax will not make you a very good programmer. So for being a good programmer, you need knowledge about you need to practice a lot of questions. Okay, so this is very important for you to understand that. Okay, so before starting this lecture, we what I would like to summarize what we have discussed in the previous lectures. We discussed what is programming, we discussed what is print, how can we print the statements, how can we create variables, what is the use of variable, what is the naming convention that we use for variables. Okay, then we discussed about operators, discussed different types of operators such as assignment, membership, comparison, and all. We did not discuss bitwise operators in detail. We will be discussing it in some later lectures, or I will make a separate lecture for that, because it will require about half an hour for of our lecture. Okay, of our time. So I will try to make a separate lecture for that, so that you won't uh, feel that you have missed it or anything. Or if you want to watch, you can just use ChatGPT for this. If you want to learn that, it is very it's not going you won't be using this here and there in this series, because you won't be requiring them in between, because it in simple programming that we are discussing right now, those are not rarely used. Okay, so now let us move on to this lecture. So in this lecture, the first come of the slide here is about learning objectives. So what we will be learning in this lecture, so after this lecture you will be able to understand what are conditional statements. Okay, so we will be discussing conditional statements in this video lecture series. We will be discussing if statements, multiple if statement, nested if, use of if else, use of elif, or elif, it is elif here. In most in other languages it is else if. So in Python we use elif. Okay, then we will be writing some we will be discussing match cases as well. Match case is nothing but an alternative of if else, but match case is little more uh, direct. So okay, then we will be solving some decision making problems. Okay, so I would like to move on to the next part. Okay, so, so we will be discussing why do we need conditional statements. So first, what is conditional statements? So conditional statements are those statements when we write the code, uh, our different block of code is executed, different part of code is executed on the basis of conditions. Okay, so if some specific condition is right, if some specific condition is being fulfilled, a specific block of code will be executed. If that is not being fulfilled, other block of code will be executed based on the conditions that are being matched. Okay, so why do we need conditional statements? Like here we have an example. Think about a real life. In real life, when we go to ATM, if our pin is correct, the pin that we enter to withdraw cash or like check our balance, we use our pin that we have set. So if the pin is correct, we get the access. If the pin is incorrect, what we do, we do not get access to the account, or to our account. Similarly, if it is raining, we carry an umbrella, or if it is not, we normally go outside. So programming also need to make some decisions. So these decisions are being made with the help of conditional statements. So conditional statements help our compiler, our computer, to do some specific task based on some specific conditions. Okay, if one condition is being fulfilled, that the task related to that condition will be the task related to that condition will be fulfilled. If other condition is being fulfilled, then the task related to that condition is executed. Okay, so what is a conditional statement? A conditional statement executes a block of code only when a given condition is true. Okay, so what is a conditional statement? Conditional statement is a conditional statement. If you want to make notes, you can make, but it is not necessary to remember the uh, it is necessary to remember the definitions, but you won't be needing it right now. If you are preparing for some placement or some interview, then you need to remember the statements as well, because they ask some direct questions or statement based questions too in the interview. So okay, if you are preparing for that, or then you need to remember all the state or the definitions as well. But if you are not, if you just want to learn programming right now, then you don't need to remember the state definitions, because you will be you can use your own language to answer the to make some definitions you want to. Okay, so here what the conditional statement is: conditional statement executes a block of code only when a given condition is true. Okay, so if the condition is false, the block is not executed. Suppose like we have already given example of the ATM. When the pin is right, we get access. If the pin is not right, what happens is the access is skipped. We do not get the access of our own account. So what is the prerequisite, or what is the condition required? So what is the condition required for this is that we need that what is the condition required? The condition required is uh, that we need a correct, sorry, we need to give a condition. It should be true for the condition, for the task to be executed. Okay, now here's the syntax of the if statement, which is if. First we write if, then we write the condition, that the condition that need to be followed, that okay, then we write colon, then we in the next line, what we have to keep in mind is the indentation. What is indentation? This is the space that you can see here. Like the if started from here, the if has started from here. But if you see, look, let me change it. Okay, if you see here, what you can see, sorry, if you see here, what you can see is there's this gap. Here's a gap. This is the line where if this is the place where if has started, this statement has started. But here there's a gap from this place to this place. This is a gap of four white spaces, like sorry, four spaces. When you the tap your spacebar 4 times, that's the space that is required here. Or you can simply press tab key. Okay, so if you press tab key, that is the required indentation that we need to give it. Okay, so this is the flow chart we have right now. So here's the flow chart. What happens is, first it checks the condition. Okay, the condition is checked. If the condition is true, if the condition is true, this statement, like here, this statement, any statement that we have written is executed. If it is false, directly the block is ended. Okay, or if it is false and there is no other like we will discuss about else and all. If there is only if block, then if the condition is wrong, the block of code will end. Okay, so this is the first program. Here we have a program which is like age, which is 20, it is given. And what we need to do is, if the age is 18, what we need, what we need to print, which is eligible to vote. If the age is greater than or equal to 18, the what should be printed out, which is it is eligible to vote. Okay, so here with the age is 20, so the condition is being fulfilled. The output will be this. So we will be doing this in VS Code. So I want you to open your VS Code and solve this. Okay, I want you to open your VS Code. Here we are creating a variable, age variable, and we are naming it like, instead of giving it some hardcore number, we will be taking it from input from the user. Okay, int input. Okay, in the next line we will be writing some the block if statement, which is if. First, keep this in mind, if should be small. In the if statement, in the if keyword, what we need to write is we need to write if in small letters. Okay, not write it in capital letters. Now we have written if. Now what is the condition that is need being that we need to fulfill, which is age should be, if age is greater than or equal to 18, then what should be printed out? Like, look, I have entered a semicolon. Now, if I press enter key, the VS Code will automatically give me an indentation next line. I do not need to press the space bar for 4 times. Okay. So now I'm going to write what it should print. It should print you are eligible to vote. It should print this. Okay, now I'm going to run this. So let's see what happens here. Now if I enter my age as, like, suppose 19. Okay, I'm entering 19. Now what is being printed? It is you are eligible to vote. But if I enter, like, suppose the age is 16, what will happen? Nothing is being printed. Why? Because only if this condition is true, then this will be printed. Otherwise, this will be skipped. So our interpreter will not see this. It will skip this line of code. Okay, and after skipping this, what it sees is there's no next line, so nothing will be printed. Okay, so this is what if statement is. Here it talks about indentation. Okay, so what is indentation? Okay, so I have already talked about this, that Python uses some indentation to define code blocks. Why it is being used? It is being used to discuss the block, discuss the scope of the block of the code. What I mean is by that is, if I do this, suppose, now if I run this, I am going to get an error. So we need to keep this in mind, that if we use if statement, we need to use proper indentation. And suppose in the next line, if I do this, if I now write something like print hello. So what will happen now is, even if I write age like which is 18, if the age is 18, both of them is being printed. As you can see, hello, and you are eligible to both vote. So both of them is being printed. But what happens? But if I enter the age as if I enter the age as 15, now only hello is being printed. Okay, so it is completely skipping this part. So now let us see one more interesting thing, which is if I give indentation to this as well, if I'm aligning these two print statement it's with same indentation. Now if I run this code, let's see what happens. If I'm entering 15 as age, nothing is being printed. Why? Because now this print statement, due to the given indentation, is part of this if statement. Okay, now this block of code is one. Okay, so if if age is greater than or equal to 18, then only this print statement will execute. Otherwise it will not execute. Why? Because this has become part of this. Okay, now if I just do this, if I do this again, and if I run, now if I enter the age as 15, it will print hello. Why? Because now this print statement is not part of this. So we need to keep this in mind, that indentation is necessary for if statement, and proper indentation. If we do not give proper indentation, then the desired block of code will not be executed. Okay. Okay, as you can see, without proper indentation, without proper indentation, Python gives us error. So if we do not give indentation, what we will get is error. Okay. Now here is another example of if statement. Okay, which is let me do this example of if statement where marks is given as 85. So what we need to do is we need to write a code if which is if marks is greater than or equal to 40, then we need to print pass. Okay, so we will be doing this where I'm creating a variable which is marks and taking it input from the user. Okay, int input enter sorry marks. Okay, this is what I have done. Now in next line I will be using writing the if condition. If marks greater than, so suppose greater than 40. So now if marks is greater than 40, you need to write the semicolon, otherwise the syntax will be wrong. Okay, semicolon is necessary. Now in the next line I am writing print. What I am going to print? Pass. Okay, now if I am going to run this, entering marks is 89, what is being printed? Pass. Now if I do this, if I instead of entering marks greater than 40, if I enter like something like 25, the output is nothing. Nothing is being printed. Okay, so this block of code will only be executed when this condition is fulfilled. If not, then the next line will be ignored or skipped. Okay, now next is multiple statements. Yeah, multiple. What is multiple statement? It is like this. If I want to print, if I want to print not only pass, if I want to print passed, congratulations, you have passed, something like this. So I can write this in the same block of if statement. Okay, I don't need several if statements for this. So I can just directly write this like congratulations, sorry, congratulations, what is happening? Congratulations, you have passed. Something like this. Okay. If I run this, the whole both of the statements will be executed if the condition is fulfilled. Like suppose the marks is like 90, both of them is being executed. Congratulations and pass. Okay, these two both of the statements were executed here. Now here comes another part, which is if and else statement. So suppose we write an if statement, and we have seen that if the condition is true, then only this part, like here in this statement part, is executed. This part will be executed only when this condition is true. But what I want is, if this condition is not true, I want then some another code to be executed. Then there we use this if sorry if else else block. Okay, how do we use it? Let us go and see this in the VS Code. Suppose I am doing something like okay, let's take the same example. Marks equal to int input, enter your marks. Okay, I am doing this. In the next line, I am writing if statement. If max is greater than equal to 40, what it should print? Print passed. Otherwise, what I wanted to print? Failed. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, just like here, like we need to write in the same line here, else, then then sorry, colon, enter, same indentation. Okay. Now I'm going to write failed. Okay, so what will happen now is, if this condition is true, if this condition is true, is fulfilled, then this will be executed. Otherwise this will be executed. Okay, so now let us check this. I'm going to enter marks as like 67, pass is executed, like printed. And if I enter something like 9, suppose the marks is 9, what is it being printed? Failed. So we have seen now is that if the condition, the upper condition is true, like first condition, the if block condition is true, then this part is printed. Okay, this part is printed. Otherwise this is printed. Understood? So this is used when we need to print different types of things, like different statements based on some conditions. Okay, so we cannot just print nothing if the if condition is not fulfilled. Okay, so we need something, to be printed, which is that is why we use this else statement. Okay, here's as an example, age, here age is 15. If the age is greater than 18, what we need to print is print eligible. If the age is not in, like if any other condition is there, like if age is suppose negative, then also it is going to print not eligible. Now let us see. I am writing age, taking this input from the user. I usually make this like input, write this input statement so that to make this code block of code generalized. Okay, so if I hard code this like is I write something, some specific number already, then it won't be generalized because it will work on the specific value that is already stored. So we need different kind of values in different so that we can check the scenarios or check the condition. Okay, we cannot. So I write this type of so I always write input. Okay, enter your age. I have written this, sorry. In the next line I am going to write if age is greater than equal to 18, what it is going to print for us? Eligible. Okay, eligible. So else, not eligible. Okay, now now we are going to see what will happen if this code is executed. I'm going to run this code. I'm going to enter the age as like suppose 9. I'm entering 9. I'm getting not eligible. But if I enter something like if I enter some other code like 18, I've entered 18. What is being printed, which is eligible. Eligible is being printed because that condition is being fulfilled. Therefore, this condition is when this condition is being fulfilled, this block of code runs. So this is printed, and if this is not fulfilled, the else block print statement, which is this, is printed. Okay, so this is used for different type of scenarios, for different type of conditions. Okay, now let us move on with some real life example. If you want to do this, you can do this. What we have right now here is ATM. So suppose we have created a password. Here the password is created. The password is hard coded because password is mostly unchanged. We keep some we need to store password cannot be some different when we log in at different times. Okay, password is mostly same. So when what happened here is, if the user enter the password, if the user entered password matches the password that it has stored previously, what it prints, access granted. Otherwise, what it prints, access not granted. So let us do this. I'm going to create a variable password. Okay. So let us suppose we stored it like something. What should we store? Some random password like HYSED45. This is the password. Okay. Now if I do this, like if we will be using the operator, which is we will be using the comparison operator. Okay, equal to, which stands, which what it does, it measures the equality. If okay, now PASS PS1. Suppose this is the password that the user enters. I've created another variable. I've taken input. I'm asking the user to enter your password. Sorry, we do not need int here because the password is not integer. We have other letters as well, as you can see. Okay, now we are writing if PASS1. This is the password that our user is going to enter. Now we need to we need to compare these two passwords. If this password is same as, we are writing equal to this sign, password variable that we have created, then it should print what it should print. Print a double css, sorry, access granted. Okay, this is the, it's what it should print. Else if this is not fulfilled, like if the password, the entered password is not same as the stored password, then it should print not granted. Okay, now let us run this code. This is our small password generator kind of thing. Okay, now I'm entering a pass, sorry, let me do this. Now I'm going to run this code. Let us enter the password. So I'm first entering the correct password, which is HYSD, then 45. If I enter this, what is being printed? Access granted. Now if I write anything except this correct password, like suppose I write HYST, I did not write 45, what is it is going to print? Not granted. Okay, so we need to keep this in mind. Only when the if condition is fulfilled, then the print statement attached to it will be executed. Otherwise, the print statement attached to else will be executed. Now let us move on. to some practice questions. There are some practice questions that you can solve, like how can we check positive number, negative number, even number, odd number. Very easy. Let us do this. So let me check how. We are going to solve a practice question which is checking positive numbers. So let us do this. I'm going to make a variable num and taking this input from the user int input, enter a number. Okay, I have done this. Now we will be using if conditions, if statements, like conditional statements, to check if the number is positive, negative, even, or odd. First, check if the number is positive, negative, or negative. If number, what is the condition for the number to be positive? If the number is greater than 0, if the number is greater than 0, what it is? It is positive. Print else. If the number is not greater than 0, then what the number is? Sorry, if uh, okay, then if the number is not greater than 0, then the number is uh, negative. Okay, so in this else statement I'm going to write print negative. Okay, now let us run this. So I'm going to enter, suppose 9. 9 is positive number, it is printing positive. If I enter minus 5, it is giving us negative. Okay, so we have already checked this, that if we are entering positive number, we are getting printed positive and as an output, and if we are entering negative number, like we are getting negative as an output. Now we are checking if the number is even or if the number is odd. For that we need to check. What we can do is, if we are using we will be using operators. So for a number to be even, it should the remainder, when we divide it by 2, the remainder that it should give is 0. If the remainder is not 0, then the number is not even. So let us check. If num modulo 2 equals to 0, cap, what it should print? It should print even. If the number is like completely divided by 2, it should print even. Else we print odd. Now let's check this. Let us check this. I'm entering, suppose 8. I'm getting output as an even because 8 is an even number. What it does is, first is divide the number 8 by 2. Now after dividing, what output is? Love, what does it actually means? It actually means, it if this is treated as true or false, like this block of code, like whole that I have marked here, is treated like true or false kind of boolean kind of statement. What happens here is, first it checks if number that we have entered when divided by 2 is equal to 0, means if this part is true. If true, then it prints this. Else it is printing something else. Like now we are entering, now I am entering 9. 9 is not an even number, it is going to give us odd. Why? Because when it divides 9 by 2, then remainder is 1, which is not the desired outcome for an even number. Okay, so it is given us odd. Now I hope you have solved this on your own. If you have solved this on your own, then congratulations, you are going good path. If you are not, if you could not solve this, don't worry, you will slowly learn how to build logic as well. The more you will practice, the more you will learn. Now we have another thing which is called elif statement. So when suppose we have to fulfill a lot of conditions. Okay, so we cannot just write like, if this is true then print this and else. If, because we need some a lot of conditions to make. So, like here, if marks is 90 plus, the grade should be A. Sorry. If marks is 80 plus, the grade is B. If marks is 70 plus, grade is C and all. Okay. So this is the syntax here. If condition colon indent with indentation, the statement that is going to be executed in the same way. Okay. So let us see this grade program. Okay. Here, the marks is taken as an input from the user. If the marks is greater than 90, it is printing grade A. If the marks is greater than 80, the grade is B. Okay, so now let us do this on our own in the VS Code. Please do this side by side with me. Okay, so that you can practice it as well. Now I'm creating a variable marks, taking it as an input from the user. Okay, now what I'm doing is writing a condition if uh, marks is sorry equal to 90, not greater than equal to 90, I'm sorry, 90, it will give us grade A. Now for the second condition we write elif marks greater than equal to there are two conditions that we need to fulfill here. The condition that sorry, we just can write now if the marks is greater than equal to 80. If it is true, sorry, if it is true, it will give us print grade V. Okay, now else, suppose else print grade C. I have written this. What will happen now? If the mass is 90 plus, if the mass is 90 plus, the rest of the condition will not be checked. If this mass is greater than 90, rest of the condition won't be checked. Okay, let me show you. I'm entering mass as 90. The grade is printed as A. Let me better rephrase this. Enter your marks. I have done this. Now I'm going to run this code again. If I'm entering marks as like suppose now I'm entering 81, what will happen? Grade is being printed as B. So what happened here is first when we enter marks, it checks whether the entered marks is greater than 90. If the entered marks is greater than or equal to 90, it won't check the rest of the conditions. That these will be skipped. All together, all of them will be skipped. Okay, and then if this condition is not fulfilled, it will check the next one, which is this. If this is true, then it will be printed, and if both of them are not true, then the last condition will be checked. Okay, like suppose the marks is 70. Now the grade will be printed grade C. Why? Because when both these two conditions were not true, then only this condition was checked. Otherwise, it was not checking the third condition at all. Okay, so only when so first it what happens is first it checks this condition. If this condition is true, these are all skipped. If this is true, then and sorry, if this is not true, then it will check this condition. If this condition is true, then it is printed, and this one is altogether skipped. Okay, and if both of them are not true, this condition is executed. Okay, so this is the work this is what happens here. Okay, now we have another part which is called nested if. When we use if condition inside an if, then it is called nested if. Example here we have an example here. Suppose we have we are creating a program for checking eligible voters. For eligible voters, we need them to be citizens as well. If they are not the citizens of India, we cannot provide them voting rights, even if they have, even if they fulfill the age criteria. So for them to be an eligible voters in India, they need to fulfill, they need to be citizens of India. So here we will write uh, two conditions like this. So first, let me create a variable which is age, taking this as an input from the user, int input. Okay, now if it is citizen equal to, suppose, a right now it is true if he is citizen. Okay, so what will happen now is, I am going to create a program to check if the person is citizen. If he is citizen, first we will be checking the age. Okay, sorry, first we will be checking the sorry, yes, first we will be checking the if the person is a citizen of India, then we will be checking age. Okay, if citizen equals to true, if this condition is true, then in the next line with indentation, as you can here see, we will write another if statement, because if this condition is true, we will need another block of if else statement for checking the eligibility. So I'm now going to write if age is greater than equal to 18. Okay, if the age is greater than equal to 18, it should print eligible. Else, please keep this in mind, align this in the same line as here, so that it this if else statement uh, can be part of this bigger if statement, which is citizen equals to true. Okay, else not eligible. This is the code. Now after if the condition, this condition is true, this block of code will be checked, like these two conditions will be checked. Now if this condition is true, not true, we are writing another else statement for this. If this else statement is here to complement this if statement. Now and this if statement and this else statement are connected, are connected, because if this is not true, this part will be executed. Print non-citizens can't vote. Okay, I have written this code. Now let us run this. Now check. Now I am going to enter my age as 19. Suppose 19 is my age. Now the printed outcome is eligible. Why? Because citizen, here we have written true. Now let me change this. I am going to write it as false. Now let us enter the same age, which is 18. We are getting another output, which is non-citizens can't vote. Why? Because even if this condition is true, like internal condition is true, this upper condition is not being fulfilled, so this whole block is being completely ignored, and the next line of code, which is this, is being executed. Okay, so indentation matters. Now due to this indentation, like here indentation we have given here, this block of code, like this block of code, is a subset, kind of sub block of this upper code. Okay, so if only if this condition is fulfilled, then it will check this, like it will go and execute this. Okay, now let us move on to another topic, which is match case statement. Now match case statements are similar to if statement. These were introduced in Python 3.1.0, which is an alternative if else statement. Suppose in this what happens is, uh, It mostly works on some exact value. First, let us check the difference. Like works with any condition. If statement works with any conditions, this works with any, like this works with any conditions. But this match case works on some more exact values. Okay, it only works with exact values. uh, Match case we make use of this for cleaner menus, and for if we make use of this for flexible conditions. Okay, now let us see what happens here is, as you can see, we have a uh, we have a syntax for this. For first we need to do this, like let me make write the code. Okay, day. Let me copy this like same code. Okay, I'm copying this same whole block of code. Now let us see what is happening here. As you can see, this first we need a variable for that to be checked. Okay, so we need to create this. Okay, so I have created a variable called day. Okay, now day will be entered, like some number will be some number 1 2 3. If the number is 1, it will print one Monday, so it is the first day of the week. That kind of uh, numbering it is. Okay, so what will happen is we need to write match, and what we are going to match day, so we will write day. After writing match, we will write day, then colon. Okay, then again indentation, with indentation next line we will write case. The what will be our first case, which is 1. If the number is 1, okay, then we will be printing Monday. Okay, if the number is 1, we will print Monday. And if the number is 2, we will print Tuesday. If the number is 3, we will print Wednesday. And now this is called a default condition. This condition is executed when other conditions are not true. This you need to write default condition every time you write a match case. Okay, so this condition should be written. Now I'm going to run this. Just a minute. Some sort of error with the string. Okay, now it's correct. It was just some compiler issue. Okay, let me just rephrase this. I'm going to enter this. I'm going to. I'm sorry, this is not about age. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Enter your number. Okay. Now, I'm going to run this. If I enter like something like 3, it is going to print Wednesday. If I enter 1, it is going to print Monday. Why? Because when I enter this, it matches these conditions. After it stores the value, it matches these conditions, and if any of them is true, this is printed. Okay, now if suppose I am commenting this out, now I am running this. It is perfectly fine. But if I enter something like 8, it is not printing anything. So we need a default statement always. So print, so that it prints something if all those conditions are not true. Okay, so now if I enter something like 9, it is giving us invalid. Why? Because this ninth number is not being considered, like checked here. If any of them is not checked, like not the part of the code, it is going to give us error. Okay, sorry, if it is not going to get a print the number, so we are getting invalid. We have seen the difference. What is the difference? Now we will see logical operator with the if. So we will be using them together. Now, as earlier we created a code in which we checked use multiple if statements to check if a person is eligible to vote or not. We can use operators like logical operators with if statement to make it shorter. How we can do this? Suppose I'm creating a variable which is age, taking it as an input from the user. creating a creating another variable citizen. True, writing it is true. In the next line, I am using if statement if age is greater than equal to 18. Now the second condition that I need to check is and citizen is equal to true. So I will be writing and citizen citizen. Okay. Uh, why I am writing this only here as citizen? Because this citizen stores a value which is true. So this is almost like if true and true, then the statement will be printed like this. Okay, let me show you what happens. Will happen here. Okay, now it will check this. Like suppose the age is 18. So what will happen is here. Now it will check. I have entered age which is 18. Now here it will check age. This age is greater than equal to 18. Like 18 is greater than equal to 18. Yes, 18 is equal to 18. So this condition is fulfilled. So this whole is considered as true and true. And we have already discussed when logical operators, when both of the conditions are true, then only it is condition is considered true. So these two conditions both are together true, so the whole condition like this whole becomes true. Now if I change like any of them to false, now it will not be giving us the same result as earlier. Why? Because now I'm entering 18. If checks if the age is like 18 is greater than 18, true, but the next part is false. So we are not getting the desired result. So for this, the both of the condition when are true, when both of these conditions are true, the output is true. Got it? So now here comes some common mistakes. Okay, so when we write the code, like conditional statements, we tend to forget the semicolon. If we forget semicolon, we will get error. So please try to always remember that you need to add semicolon. Then also do not forget writing indentations, like wrong indentation. Suppose here, if I do this, if here it is the indentation, and if I increase the indentation by 2, now what will happen? Oh, sorry, I made a mistake here. So now suppose if I decrease the indentation like here, now it will happen. What will happen? The output is not being produced. Why? Because this if statement now is not part of this. Sorry, this print statement is not part of this if statement. Now, if I completely remove this indentation, I'm going to get an error. Why? Because we are getting an indentation error because after if statement it expects a next line which is indented. Indented. Okay, so if I even if I do this like now, let us check what will happen. Still I am getting an error. Okay, so what I'm going to get an here is still I'm going to get an error. So what it so proper indentation is necessary. Okay, always keep this in mind. Now using equal to and double equal to, sometimes we what we do is when we check the conditions we write this, we write this instead of this. So if we do this we will not get the desired output because this is assignment operator. It is used to assign and this is used to check like compare two values. Okay, so we need both of them. like we need this value, okay, we don't need that while checking conditions, okay. And wrong comparison operator which you can do. So so now what I want you to do is uh, do these some mini projects that you can do on your own, like student result checker. You can input the name, marks, and output the name and grade or pass or fail of the condition of the student. Then you can use make an age verification system in which if the age is below 18, you can write not eligible. If otherwise, you can write eligible. Simple login system like we have already made this, where you are taking username and password as an input, and if these two are correct, you can you are printing welcome in or else you are printing incorrect or access denied. Okay, taking even, odd, positive, negative, these are some of the questions that you can follow. Okay, now this is the homework question that you need to follow, which is age create you need to create a program that asks for age, marks, nationality, then determine can vote or vote means you need to check the condition for eligibility of voters. If the people are eligible, you can write can vote. If the people are not eligible, you can write they cannot vote. Okay, now, summary of the lecture. In this lecture, we have learned about conditional statements. We learned if where we use if, what is the use of if else, we use elif, we use nested if, we learned match cases and decision making. Okay, we learned these things in this lecture, and I want you to practice some of the questions. I have already given some questions to you to practice, so just keep this in mind and just practice these questions as much as you can, because it is very necessary for you to practice. Okay, so in this we already have discussed if else elif nested if. So we discussed when we use nested if, when we have to check conditions inside a condition. We also discuss using operators, logical operators with if statement. We learned that we need to have proper indentation. What is the use of indentation? What will happen if the if condition is not true? Okay, we learned about decision making. We did a lot of interesting stuff. Now here's some recap uh, of the next lecture. In the next lecture, we will discussing loops. We will discussing what are while loops, what are for loops, what is a break state, what is continue, what is pass, and all. We will discussing all those things in the next lecture. Okay. So I hope you have learned a lot in this lecture. You have followed this lecture properly. Okay. So what I want you now to do is practice. If you practice everything, like every question that I have given you, if you do all those things, you will be able to understand and you will be very comfortable later on. You will thank me all as well, because I have told you to practice with this. So what is so we have learned now up until now a lot of things, and I can be like, if you find it difficult right now to understand, if you found something difficult, I suggest you to watch it again and again. And after watching, what you can do is you can go to chat gpt and write the topic that you found difficult, and ask for some like question, like 10 questions or 20 questions on that topic. After solving those questions, I'm sure that you will be very comfortable on that topic, because the more you will practice, the more you will understand. Okay, so I hope this lecture was fruitful for you. I hope you learned a lot. I hope you followed every advice I have given you. Okay, so I hope you have already made some notes, and thank you for watching this video. I hope this was a very good and fruitful lecture. Thank you, and please keep watching the video. Do not skip, do not leave the video lecture series if you find it difficult. I have already discussed this, because that if you find it some topics difficult, watch it again and again, and I am sure that you will be very well able to understand all these things as time passes and as you practice these things. Okay, Thank you. Thank you for watching this video. Goodbye. Let's meet in the next lecture.